Good evening, everybody. My name is Chef Katko, and I'm here this evening to demonstrate a dish from central Italy, gnocchi con sugo di pomodoro e burro. That's potato dumplings or potato gnocchi with a butter and tomato sauce. Uh, this is sort of a hybrid dish when it comes to categorizing it as a regional Italian dish because potato gnocchi originally came from the region of Liguria in the northwestern part of the country, while the tomato butter sauce is something very much prevalent in the Lazio region, the region within which Rome is located in the central part of the Italian peninsula. I'm going to start by making the dough itself, okay, and what I have here, okay, is potatoes that have been pureed. I cooked russet potatoes, any sort of starchy potato will do, in cold salted water, and brought it to a boil with the potatoes whole in their skins, and we cooked them this way to retain the starch, which is very important in making a cohesive dough. Anyway, what we're going to do is go on ahead, add an egg yolk. Usually for every pound and a half of potatoes, I add one yolk, okay, and then a little seasoning. Again, an optional ingredient is some grated fresh nutmeg, very traditional for this. Then we're going to go on ahead, add our flour. Typically, again, for about every pound of potatoes, we add about 12 ounces of flour. This is all-purpose flour. Now, this can vary to some degree. Has to do with the type of potato we use, how starchy the potato is in the first place. It also has to do sometimes with the how potatoes were cooked. Many people, what they like to do, they like to bake the potatoes. Some like to steam them. Okay, again, as I said before, this was boiled. Sometimes just the general humidity of the environment that you are making this, the more humid the environment is, okay, the more flour you're going to have to add. More drier, less flour you have to add. But really the objective, okay, the objective in all this is to go on ahead. We want to make a dough that's still a little sticky. And again, I'm going to take off one glove only because I really have to feel the texture of the dough. I was going to say that you want a dough that is smooth, you want a dough that is elastic, but you don't want the dough to be too dry. Too dry a dough, meaning, again, perhaps too much flour was added, okay, will result in very heavy gnocchi. You want gnocchi that is light. Okay, so this dough is coming together, pretty well. And then what I'm going to do is go on ahead. I'm going to lightly flour my surface. Okay, and just turn my dough out onto the board. And now I'm going to do a combination of kneading, developing the gluten in this developing dough, and of finishing the mixing process. Because as I knead it, and what I'm doing, okay, I'm going on ahead with my right hand, taking the mass of dough, turning it at a right angle, folding it over, pushing away, just like this. And the dough is getting smooth. It's still, it's a bit sticky. Okay, so I'm just going to add some more flour. I add about a quarter to a half a cup at a time. And again, you follow the recipe, you follow the ingredients that are outlined in the recipe, but ideally what you also want to do is to really judge by the texture, judge by the feel of the dough. And as I am kneading it, I feel the dough, the texture is getting more elastic, sort of more bouncy, sort of changing from being sort of just mashed potatoes with a bit of flour in it to really what feels like a definite pasta dough. And indeed, as I knead it, I'm going to make a little test, and that is I'm going to go on ahead and I'm going to just pinch it. Let's call it the pinch test. Why not? Okay, and as I pinch it, okay, I know it's still not there because it breaks away. What I want to happen when I perform this so-called pinch test, if you will, okay, I want to be able to see it stretch. Okay, I'm going to add again another increment of flour. And once again, this is all-purpose flour. But really the idea of what we want to achieve is that right balance of utilizing the starch already in the potatoes, okay, with the amount of flour that we add. Okay, I do believe we are fast approaching that point of where I'm looking for it again. The gloves have to come off. And again, the pinch test. Ah, okay. That's what I'm talking about. See that? See that? As I pinch it, it's kind of stretch it, but it really, keeps together. And this is going to be important when we shape this dough into gnocchi, because it is going to have to be stretchable. It's got to be stretchable. And if it's elastic, and as I'm kneading it, okay, and pushing it with my palms of my hand, okay, just a little bit of stickiness left, which I want. I don't want this dough to be too dry. Too dry, once again, too much flour, heavy gnocchi. Okay, we are just about there. Okay, let me shape it into a ball. Okay, so this is our gnocchi. Here, now we'll do the little poke test, pinch test, no, poke test. Okay, and as I poke it, it sort of bounces right back. So what we're going to do, we're going to lightly flour our dough. We're going to wrap it in plastic. We're going to let it rest, let the gluten rest, and then we'll go on to making the sauce and shaping the gnocchi. See you soon.